Hello everybody. I had quite an interesting night at church. Let me start off by saying, those of you who've seen the video of my dad's first time at church in forever know that my dad went to church for the first time in about 20 years 2 Sundays ago. And at the end of that experience, he told me that he enjoyed it and he wanted to go back. Well, last Sunday, he didn't go. And so I kind of got it in my head that was just, he had just said that to placate me and he didn't really mean it. Well, it was stormy. Both of us had been up real late. So I guess, we had semi-legitimate reasons for not wanting to go. Well, yesterday, he says, late in the evening, he says, you need to get to bed because we got to go to church tomorrow. I'm like, oh, great, okay. Well, he was serious. He does want to go back to church. Today is also, let me flash forward to today. Today is my last day of freedom, I hope. I hope I'm going to start a new job tomorrow. And right up until time to go to church, I was goofing off on the internet. In fact, we were almost late because of me goofing off on the internet. So right at the last second, I threw on a shirt which was dirty. And I'm out of deodorant. It smelled ripe, to say the least, because I'm out of deodorant. And I'm also I'm doing a variation on the Atkins diet. I'm on a low carb diet, and one of the unfortunate side effects of that diet is that you get horrible breath, even if you brush your teeth frequently. An hour later, you have this horrible breath. So I don't have it, but one of the little bottles, the drops you put on your tongue, in case I have to talk to anybody. I normally carry that. I was in such a hurry to get out of the house that I forgot to bring my little bottle. My shirt is dirty, so it's got a little bit of a smell to it. And I have a little bit of a smell to it because I've got no deodorant. And my shoes are still dirty from yesterday when I was mowing the lawn. So I head to church smelling with dirty shoes, basically. But happy about it because my dad's going to church again. As soon as I walk in the door, somebody comes up behind me and taps me on the shoulder and says, hey, I saw the video you did on NewSpring. And I said, on YouTube. And he said, yeah, I said, wow, that's neat. Somebody, it was the first person that had ever recognized me from YouTube or live video. And also it was kind of neat that, one of the few people that's actually watching my video, I ran into him. So 2 minutes later, somebody else comes up to me and wants to shake my hand and says, wow, that was a great video you did on NewSpring. I think that's so wonderful. Oh, and by the way, is this your dad? Wow, it's wonderful to meet you, Mr. Hill. And it's so great to have you with us. And da-da-da-da-da. Well, long story short, by the time me and Dad sit down before services, 10 people have come up to me and thanked me for making this video and said how wonderful it was. And then a couple other people have gone hey, Southern Gothic 71, how's it going? And I'm like, something's up. And finally, the sound guy from the church. Now, keep in mind, again, I'm like, hi, how's it going? Because I don't have my bottle of breath stuff, and I'm trying to keep my my arms together. And the whole time I'm walking, this dirt's coming off of my shoes. And my dad, number one, can't hear, so he doesn't know what any of these people are talking about. And number two, one of the reasons he was nervous about going to church is because he can't hear. He was scared of running into people that he knew that would try to talk to him. So here's all these people talking to me and my dad. I'm smelly and dirty. And suddenly everybody in church knows me. And finally, like I said, the sound guy tells me that one of the junior pastors at the church stumbled across the video I made about Dad going to church for the first time in forever and gave it to Perry Noble, who's our senior pastor. And Perry put it on his blog, which most of the church reads. I don't. Well, I've started now, but I used to not. And so, another little twist in the story, I pretty much abandoned YouTube because of all their glitches, all the problems that they have. So the last time I looked at that video, it had like 4 hits on it. And then tonight I come home and it's got 1,863 hits. And because I had abandoned YouTube, essentially abandoned it, I turned comments off. So nobody was able to tell me, hey, great video and all. And I thrive on stuff like that. I would have loved to have gotten all those comments. But I didn't. And so we managed to make it through the sermon. But I got big-headed. And see, and please do not send me comments saying, oh, Ernie, no, you're not ugly. I'm ugly. I'm overweight. I'm dieting. I'm going to do a video about my dieting later. But I am ugly right now, and I am overweight. And I get paranoid. When people make eye contact with me, I get paranoid that they're like, look at the freak, you know? Tonight I didn't feel that way. I got big-headed, and it weirded me out. Now, every time somebody made eye contact with me, I was thinking, hey, they know me. Which I guess in one sense is a good thing, but in another sense it was very bad, because I don't want to ever get big-headed like that. But I guess I've gotten my 15 minutes of fame that Andy Warhol said everyone would have. But thank you, everyone at NewSpring, for viewing my video. And thank you, Perry, for putting it on your blog. And let me say that I am not responsible for getting my dad to church. There are 2 things that took place for him to go to church. One of them is, pardon the pun, a series of unfortunate events that have taken place in my life and his lately. And I'm going to do a video on that as well a little bit later on. But the other thing that I'm totally convinced was involved in getting my father to church is the prayer team at NewSpring. I sent a prayer request for him because he was very depressed not too long ago. And from the time they started praying, he started progressively getting better. And then in the long run, he ended up in church. So if that doesn't say something about the power of prayer, I don't know what does. But anyway, I've got the screen turned off because I don't want it shining in my glasses. I don't know how long I've been talking, but I don't want to have to edit this. So I'm just going to go ahead and quit and say thank you, everyone at NewSpring. Thank you, Perry. Thank you, prayer team at NewSpring. Thank you, everyone that watched the video. And, of course, thank you, Lord, for getting my dad back in church. Thank you all so much. God bless. Bye-bye.